Space Bunnies and my Rave Angels and Poet Souls. And guys, we got to figure out these names because we got so many different factions of our army now, which is amazing. But guys, I sent the album to streaming. So excited for everybody to have it soon. Thank you to everybody who bought it early, paid whatever you want. That's clearly the right model. Shout out to Russell, who inspired me to do that. And shout out to all of you that bought it. 9 sales, $100, and it means the world. And I'm excited to look back on this and think back on this and remember this as we continue to build, God willing, with the second album, the third album, everything else to come, and think, man, I was so juiced about $100 on my first album, because I'm genuinely so juiced about that. My honest expectation, guys, obviously I have such a great connection with so many of you that, I figured, conservative 2 to 3 sales, it's worth throwing it up there, right? That was my honest, thought. And maybe 4 to 5, that would be amazing, right? And 9 sales, $100, so it exceeded expectations, and it means the world. And now I'm so excited to see what the album does on streaming for everybody else. I'm so excited for the bump in streams, for everybody that enjoys the album in one go, for everybody that saves and continues to play it, for everybody that has an emotional experience with it. If you are able to take it in alone, preferably, in a place where you're not rushed, in a place where you can feel and connect and think about what it means to you, what lyrics speak to you in your life, what you can relate to, man, that would be the best way I would want you to take it in, so you can appreciate it. Of course, that's just selfish. That's based on what I've heard from my peeps who have bought it early and have listened to the album, and my Patreon peeps who got it early as well, for supporting me through Patreon, $5 a month. Shout out to you guys as well. Those are the messages I've got. I got to take it in one go, or the first time I didn't really get to, and the second time I did, and it was an overflow of emotion, just like poetry, just like a lot of the singles I've put out. But obviously this is the most meaningful work I've made. It's more personal to me, and it's more special and fulfilling overall. And that's what my albums are going to be. I'm always going to love to put out singles. I'm always going to love to just make fun things, experiment, try new things, see what works, see what doesn't, see what you like, find new factions, new genres, all these things. But my albums are always going to be the collection that's more meaningful to me, more personal to me, more fulfilling, more special, more intimate, and all those kind of things. So this is the first one, Obsessive. Guys, I don't know, there's a whole other video. We haven't done a vlog in a minute, but guys, Compulsive is done. My second album, Compulsive, is done. For those of you that don't know, the trilogy, my first 3 albums, are going to be Obsessive, Compulsive, Disorder, because OCD has been one of my main flavors of suffering in this life since I was a kid, and so it's something I battle every day. And Elenium really inspired me with his trilogy. Of course, Ashes, Ascend, Awake. I probably butchered that. I haven't listened to those albums in a while, since that was a good bit ago now. But you guys know what I'm talking about if you're Elenium fans. That amazing trilogy, man, that really inspired me. And his trilogy set where he plays for like 3 to 4 hours. I've never been there, but I've seen the streams of it and things, the documentaries of it. So inspiring. So second album, guys, Compulsive, is done. It tops the first album. That's my goal with everything I put out, is to make my favorite work ever. My favorite song I've ever written through completing Obsessive was Danny Phantom, which was on Obsessive, which was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid growing up. Danny Phantom was one of my favorite characters and figures. I thought he was so cool. The gray hair was the reason I started combing my hair to the side. Like, you guys remember Danny Phantom? He had that strong side that kind of came out here with it. I just thought it was so sick. And so to write a song called Danny Phantom, I miss that kid that could go ghost like Danny Phantom, right? Is the last line at the end of the chorus. That line means a lot to me. The whole song means a lot to me, and the other lines in there are just about looking at my childhood and goods and bads and things like that. I say that to say, through Compulsive, multiple songs I broke my favorite song I've ever made and written multiple times on this next album, with A Mother's Love, which is the most meaningful song I've ever put out, probably, because it's about me and my mom, and as you can imagine, me and my mom, and goods and bads and everything in that relationship, and some really dark stuff, and the most intimate stuff I've shared, and some really dark stuff, but it's uplifting, it's empowering, it's a real, takes, the listener took me on a real journey writing it, from some really dark stuff to some more uplifting and encouraging stuff, which is a real journey of me and my mom's relationship. So that meant the most to me. And then The Silence Makes Me Start Screaming. I think I might have titled it Silence Makes Me Start Screaming. The Silence, I forget. But Silence Makes Me Start Screaming. One of the most, another favorite song I've ever made, because as the title says, it speaks to my OCD, and it speaks to specific lines in there, like I used to start and stop the radio 20 times, and that was in a single drive. That, those are real, and that's my battle with OCD that I've had, and things I used to really do, and traps I fell into. And so there's a lot of the lines about that, but that's my real experience, where silence, different forms of silence, because of my OCD, because of the battles I have up here, like we all have, my specific flavors and battles and what they look like, don't fare well with silence. And so that's why I'm obsessive, and that's why I don't stop, and that's why I'm extreme and intense, and that's found me in all areas of my life, for better, for worse, a lot for better, a lot for worse. And so Silence Makes You Start Screaming is another really special one. But anyway, guys, I haven't dropped the track list, and I feel like I'm missing another one. I know there's another one on there that I'm gonna say blows those two out of the water too. I just finished the Silence one last week, so it's the most fresh. But so excited for you to hear that, guys. I'm gonna put it right up on Indeed. Looking for jobs. No, I'm not. And run the same play, where if you want to support me directly, you can pay whatever you want. If it's worth $1 to you, it means the world. If it's worth $10, $20, $50, $100, it means the world. No pressure at all to buy it at all. No pressure at all to pay more than $1 if you do. But of course, I see who pays. I'm so grateful for all the amounts that you pay. And of course, the more you pay, the more grateful I am, because, that shows me what my work means to you. And that's, the proportion of investment you're giving me is the gratitude I'm giving you back. And I'm so excited to be able to give so much more back, because we're still in this beginning stage. First album made $100. That's amazing. But, of course, my music software, not to sound ungrateful or let that be confused at all. Hopefully that's incredibly clear. Just for perspective, obviously I can't give back until this is a viable business, and it's not. I'm still operating at a negative most months with streaming and with albums and with Patreon. I'm, minus $20, $30 a month, or positive 10 or 20, but I'm about break even. And until I can consistently have positive revenue, like $500 to $1,000 a month consistently, even just that, obviously can't live on that, can't take care of my family on that, but that alone for music would absolutely change things for me and for us, because that's real money to invest in music, as opposed to where it's now, all my money investing is coming from other sources, and which is limited because, life, right? Life's expensive. So it's getting more expensive every day. So, I'm so excited. I say that to say, when we do get to those levels, even just a couple hundred more a month, where I can consistently say this is a viable business, as someone who's built, very successful businesses relative to me, and relative to, most people that try to build a business. I've done it. I know how difficult it is. I know the years that it's taken from the businesses that I built and left. And so, and not left, but, spun down to focus on music. And the other businesses that I'm still involved in, and my career as well. It's hard, right? For anyone that's built your own thing, whether it's a side, a hobby you turn into a side hustle, or it's something you're trying to make your full time, how hard it is to make a viable business. It's not easy. And that's why I'm incredibly grateful for all your support. And I'm so excited. I'm obsessed to keep getting better for you, to earn more, revenue and support, and be more valuable, for you to give me more value, so that way I can give it more back, right? Like I want to build, I want to be great, I want to give you more back, and every dollar that you put into me allows me to do that. And we're so far from me being able to do all the cool things I want to do, like giveaways and merch and fun stuff. So anyway, guys, that was a long rant, because this is all I think about. I think about, money never leaves my mind for my family. I'm the main provider for my family, and as a lot of you are. And And like I said, I've built a lot of other things. I'm currently involved in a lot of things. I want freedom for my family. I have incredibly big goals. And with music, that's the most difficult part. Is I love it the most, but it's the most expensive. It's the least profitable. It's something that is attention I feel every single day to get better. So that way it is viable, and it's not just an expensive hobby. It's something that I can really do good things with. I can help people with. I can share. So that's enough on that. I could talk about that all day, rambling, a million thoughts in my head, because that's really one of the main tensions of my day every day is how much on this, how much time on this, how much time on this, how much time on music, when can I fit this in, why isn't there 20 more hours in every day, like all of that. So thank you guys. 10 minutes, we'll cut this one at 10 daily vlogs. And Obsessive is going to hit streaming soon. Please let me know what you think when you hear it. If you haven't, please let me know what you think if you hear it again and it does something else to you. And Compulsive all the way, on the way. Love you guys.